I think
We're
we are now
live.
live.
Yay!
So I don't know if everybody can hear me because I'm doing side. We got somebody from out of town that just came to rescue us from the Texas storm.
You got
This is,
Cairo causing ruckus in the
Jay
Yes.
background.
Spider.
All right. Hey, everybody. So we have Beauty the Beast, the Beard, Jay Spider, and Robert Kennedy from Morph Seekers. How's it going, everybody?
What's up?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So Robert is our super special guest today. He is not very new to snake breeding, but like his Instagram and YouTube accounts are pretty new. And he just hit that 1,000 mark, right? Or are you almost there?
No, I'm at 1,024.
All right. Rocking and rolling. Man, you are growing.
I got 2,700 on Instagram.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. So far we have a couple of people on, Cindy and Area 51 Morphs in the chat. So hello.
Cindy Lozano is a part owner of Morph Seekers.
Oh,
wow.
Very lovely. So
she's in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. We love our Houstonians. So tell us, are you able to hear anything?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So we just came out of this like Arctic blizzard crisis, still in the tail end of it. So what was that like where you live?
Negative 24 degrees.
Ooh, yucky. But
2 fireplaces, 8 space heaters, could not keep up.
Oh my gosh. That is, so I have to ask the most terrible question of all. Did you guys lose anyone?
No, we did not. We lost power once for about 8 hours. The incubator only dropped to 84 degrees. Thank God.
Wow. Yeah, so you're very well equipped. So you have quite a few animals. Are they housed inside of your home?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, that's nice because you were able to keep the people and the animals alive at the same time. That simplifies things. We had a facility in New Mexico and bought a bigger place, and so that everything's in the house right now, which made it a lot easier. And luckily, we made the very smart choice of housing the animals near a wood-burning stove that is like an old farmhouse. We're like, oh, that's cute. And little did we know we would need it just 6 months later to save us from the Arctic blizzard. So that was pretty wild.
Did y'all lose any animals?
We did. Just one so far. Our mini pig didn't make it, and so that was really sad because he was one of our pets. And I should have done more for him. And I didn't realize how bad it was going to get. It was kind of early. And he was perfectly fine through the deep snow that we just had with the shelter and the hay and everything. And we lost him on Tuesday night, so that was really sad because he was our little pet.
Well, I don't think anybody in Texas was ready for this.
No.
I was just about to say that.
Wow.
None of us were prepared.
Earl Jones.
Earl was ready.
I don't care how many generators you have. Hell, it got so cold, generators froze up sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good deal for many people. But an announcement I did want to make is happy birthday, Robert.
Thank you.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay, we love you.
Real quick, I'm going to go chase chihuahuas out because they're making a lot of noise back there.
Yeah, they're having WWG WrestleMania 2021.
That it's kind of like Battle of the Cheese. My cheese are here.
Yes, his chihuahuas are here, and
So.
his chihuahuas are kind of like snobby shit talkers because we just have like the mutt rescue chihuahuas, so it gets ugly. You can hear him right now.
It's not that bad. Mad. It could be Odie.
Okay, well, funny story.
Let's hear it.
I had big red-tailed boas, 2 of them, females, and I'd always let them run around my house. Everybody knew I had them in my apartment. One day I was in the back room playing pool. My buddy and his sister and his girlfriend came over, set their chihuahua down, walked back there where I was. We were talking and you just hear, "Ah!" I was like, what was that? Oh, that's my dog. Not no more. She tried to get me to get it out, but it was too late.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Oh wow.
We have some small dogs and some retics and some boas, and that's my worst nightmare. It's never even gotten close to happening yet. But we even have monitors that could kill our dogs, and that's one thing. And we have crocodilians and stuff. I'm super extra careful that when we're cleaning and stuff, no, that's
Well, it's probably better if you tell somebody you're bringing a dog into their house.
yeah, that's just common courtesy.
I
Yeah,
bet she won't make that mistake again.
I have about 8 chihuahuas at my house. Most of them are finished AKC champions, and I'm very careful when I'm doing boas, making sure everything's locked before dogs are up in the dog room, in their kennels, and just kind of having multiple barriers so we don't have any accidents.
Whoa.
I've been really interested in getting into some berms, but I still can't for the life of me just feel super comfortable with my dogs and the big guys together.
I thought about breeding just one pair of boas, but it's going to be like an expensive pair. Thought about it.
Yeah, a morph in mind that you're set on?
Not yet, but there's been a lot of suggested morphs to me wanting to trade for some sunsets. So.
Well, we've been breeding boas for 20 years and still have yet to make our ultimate morph, which is the moon glow.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to make.
I don't even think I've ever heard of that one.
They're really pretty.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, they're just basically a snow boa is all they are.
Okay.
Hypo, aneurystic, and albino. But there's two forms of albino in the boids, and they're not compatible, and one of them makes a better looking moon glow than the other one. And we're so far behind that I don't even know which one's the better morph at this point. We're working with call albinos. Call albinos, but we don't have any aneries right now. So with the last cold spell that we went through, we had a pair of het moon glows, and we ended up losing those in New Mexico during Goliath.
Okay. Well, I've had one boa that some lady called me and said a big snake got in her cat door. I thought it was just a Arkansas black snake, chicken snake, whatever you call it. I got there, picked her couch up, and it was a 7-foot red-tailed boa. And it's over at Veterans Vertebrates now. So he's breeding her.
Nice.
To another snake, right?
I hope so.
Go ahead.
Speaking of breeding,
let's get to the back history of you and reptiles. Tell us about your first experiences with reptiles.
Well, I'd bring them home, stick them in my mom's mail, hand them to her. Brought home alligators, all kinds of stuff. South Texas, we were full of them. If you see them on the school bus when you go over the rice canals, if you saw the gator, you'd go back and get it with a shark pole. I think my first snake was the red-tailed boa my dad sent me when I was about 6 or 7. Mom wasn't very happy about it, but I chased a lot of people around our apartment complex with it. Where we lived, it was very diverse, and I found out real quick that older black women don't like snakes. And I almost gave one a heart attack walking around the corner of the building. So I tried not to do that as much as possible, but I had him outside a lot.
So let's move up a few years.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
So now it's about 3 years ago, and you decide that you're going to take the ball python community by storm. So what was your process from there to here as far as what you're working with and what you got into and all that stuff?
Well, I didn't want to make anything normal. There's too much of that going around. It's hard to get rid of. I wanted to do the wow factor. Me and Cindy got together. We've been doing this for a while now. She's awesome. Y'all would love her if you ever met her. She's probably going to go to the Arlington show with me.
Oh, yay. So Cindy, look for us. Because we should have a booth there because they're one of our sponsors.
And we started picking some of the most expensive stuff you can get. And this year, we're hoping to be the first to make the pastel leopard yellow belly sunset.
Ooh. Just almost stopped my heart right there. Wow.
There was only 2 bamboo 100% sunset males ever posted, and we got both just because we're a little greedy.
That must be fun. Wow. So is Cindy like your little sugar mama?
No.
Or you
In
the sugar
Texas.
daddy?
In Texas, okay. Y'all are gonna hate this story.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Lost 3 kids in a fire.
Hmm.
I was able to get my sister and her youngest, but I was in shorts. I wasn't in bunker gear. It woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I passed out upstairs trying to get the kids after I got my sister and her youngest. Woke up outside with the burns on my back and legs, and I met Cindy through my mother. She has lost 2 children. We've been friends ever since. We moved to Arkansas to get away from that area, which sucks because I need Cindy up here. I have my down days, she has her down days, and we're better together. How about that?
Wow.
Helping each other heal. Good.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. But real quick, Kevin Trappin dropped down a super chat, $25, and Cindy Lozano dropped a big super chat, $99.99. Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
Really appreciate it.
She's awesome. Y'all would love her.
He said they're all buried at the same cemetery, which that breaks my heart. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's so.
And imagine me going back to the fire department after that.
Wow.
Took a long, long time, but I'm back.
Well, so the Sunset Project, that's something that is kind of one of your big ones, right?
Well, the Sunset, the Panda Pies, and the visual VPI Xanthic Clowns. And then Mick, he's one of 2 in the world. The other one is a pet in New York.
That's wild.
He is Super Citrus, Pastel, Ghost, Asphalt, Possible Het Pied. We'll find out because the Black Pastel, Het Pied, Het Albino just pre-lay shed last night.
Nice. Wow.
So what is your incubator? So it sounds like you're going to be producing a lot of clutches this year. What are you going to put them all in?
We have 2 incubators, but between me and my partner, we have 5 incubators. I should have around 50 clutches this year. He's probably going to have 42.
Wow.
All high-end snakes. The 102 snakes that he just picked up, like I said, he thinks they're mislabeled. 75. And there's a clown in there I've never seen before. And I can't show y'all those, sorry.
Is it a top secret project you guys are working on?
Something like that. I got 9 snakes in the other room that nobody has ever seen.
Wow. Now, did that whole collection come from someone that retired out of the business, or what was the deal with that?
Well, the guy was too busy. He owns multiple companies, even a tequila company. And it's really good. I tried it last night.
Oh, I'd be down to sample that at any time.
Right?
Coffee and tequila. Not together.
So he's paying Gary to breed for him, feed for him, and then Gary would get like pics of each clutch, and anything I have, Gary could use. Anything Gary has,
wow,
I can use.
Sweet deal. So is that someone that is? I know Cindy's in Houston. Is Gary near you? Are you close enough to easily work together?
Yeah, he's about an hour away from me, and I work a lot with him, Frankenstein, Creations and Veterans Vertebrates in Cassville, Missouri.
Okay, cool. Do any
Frankenstein,
of those guys have channels?
if they would listen to me.
Start your own channels.
Because
Yeah.
Gary makes some of the best snakes I've ever seen.
Wow.
And he does not show them. I accidentally showed 2 of them and he got mad at me.
Oh, come on. Does he just like to do everything incognito and then blow people away after the stuff is produced?
Yeah, we had to bring like 9 of them to the show to help ID with the big the big breeders there to help us ID them.
Oh, wow.
They're beautiful.
So who do you guys look up to in the hobby? Who do you consider your mentors or your, somebody that you would strive to kind of sort of be like, either as far as like financial or size goals or as far as breeding?
That's a hard one.
Is there anyone?
I love Billy from Mutation Creation. He's awesome.
He's amazing. I love Billy Rowe.
Me and Lord of Lion talk. Me and Your Royal Highness King Austin talk. So I'd like to be like them. Billy has heart. Billy has everything that somebody in his position needs for this community.
Yeah. Billy's a stand-up guy. I mean, he's someone that I admire probably more than most people in the industry.
Well, you must be special because I've been trying to contact Lord of Lion and he just keeps blowing me off.
We're too
Are you
old and
serious?
nerdy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably because I sent him a couple T-shirts and now I'm about to send him some hoodies.
Oh,
There
I
you go.
guess.
That's the magic.
We need to start sweetening the pot with the merch before we even try to. I got it.
Yeah, like these ones behind me, that's not my colors. And they're remaking them, and they've been remaking them for like 3 months now. So hopefully they come back with my colors.
Well, that does look pretty sweet, by the way. It's a nice backdrop.
Thank you. We got coffee cups, we got all kinds of stuff, but
cool.
we're trying to get everything put onto our YouTube because I got like 225 messages of people wanting merch, and I haven't done anything about it yet.
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. So, do you guys have a website where you manage all that stuff, or how do you?
You can post it to your YouTube channel,
like through a like
Teespring.
Oh, Teespring. Yeah, that's what we used to do. We don't work.
I think you
with a whole
guys
lot
still
of
have it set up. You have the toolbar underneath.
Yeah,
in your
we do
video.
still have a Teespring toolbar. Yeah.
We just now set it up, but we haven't posted it to the videos yet. But yes, we're going to have like 9 world's first clutches this season. 3 of them being sunset, a few being secret. I'll just say this. I mean, the big ones are not the only ones that have monsoon.
Damn. That must be fun.
When you mix them together and you don't know what they're going to come out looking like, it's fun. It's like an Easter egg hunt. That's my favorite thing about it. And hopefully one of these days we can get Cindy up here to cut some awesome clutches. Maybe one of Trinity's, the Panda Pied. Cindy is the inspirational for the names because I'm not good at naming them.
She's more creative. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm good with the morph mixtures and stuff like that, making stuff that people have not made yet. She's good at naming. She's good at all kinds of stuff that I'm not good at.
That's how it's
Cindy
supposed to
just
be.
said, and we have Trinity, the Panda Pied, which I actually wanted to ask you about. So this one and a good friend of ours is really into Panda Pieds. I hear that there's a lot of problems with producing them. I don't know for sure because we've got a bunch of stuff for growing up, but we're not there yet. Do you have any tips or tricks as far as what you're going to do to try to make healthy Panda Pieds?
Okay, well, last year I dropped my incubator temps big time. on the spiders. Didn't have one single wobble.
Wow.
Panda pies have the duck bill, the kinking. I'm probably going to try that same thing with them. And last year I only came out with 3 males out of every clutch. Yeah, 129 babies and only 3 males.
Wow.
Interesting.
But I'm not going to say, hey, this works until I can prove it this season.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Just out of curiosity, what you said you dropped it down. How far did you drop it down?
Well, I'd rather be the one that chances that until I can prove it out.
Mm. Cool.
I don't want somebody going, oh, well, watch this. I can lower the temps and then kill off their clutch.
Yeah.
We just heard was it you? Somebody was just watching a video where they were keeping their incubator temperature at 89 degrees, and they said it took like 70 days for their babies to hatch, and as far as they could tell, they didn't have any variants.
I keep mine normal 89.6 if I want males.
Say that again, 89.6 if you want males. So what do you recommend if you want girls?
We'll give that temp later. Make sure it works.
I know you said that, but I was going to try to sneak it out of you.
I'm smarter than I look, I promise.
Okay. So how many you got a panda pie? How many clutches are you hoping to produce when everything's grown up? Like how many are you going to try of panda pies? Like how many black pastel females do you have? Or is your panda pie a male or a female?
The panda pie is a female. She has a solid white head, 2 black dots, and then the Marilyn Monroe beauty mark is what Cindy calls it. Other than that, she's solid white. Now, I do want one with the black head. I do. But it'll be visual to visual, and I'm going to hold back 2 female visuals and 1 male. So I'll have 3 females, 1 male.
Amazing. So the sunset gene, you said that you picked up one from Miguel. Where does most of your sunset stuff come from?
Royal Authority. I got all of my sunset stuff from Royal Authority except for like 6 of them.
So you're working with quite a few animals.
Oh yeah, and we're still holding animals for people's that houses don't have electricity and stuff like that. I had like 9 collections here.
Oh wow. That's awesome that you're able to do
Yeah,
that.
that's so you may not know this, Jake. Robert has done a lot for all of us here that were in the middle of crisis, rallying support and making a video and stuff like that. So
Oh wow.
yeah, he approached me, I don't know, just a few weeks ago about on Instagram about we're trying to grow our channel and stuff. And I mean, yeah, you have already done so much since then. It's really crazy. So that's how we first got in touch. But yeah, amazing guy. I want to hear about your wildlife rehab. Tell people all about how you got started on that and a day in your crazy life.
I have 6 pet raccoons. I have a bobcat. I have coyote, and I had a fox, but the little turd got horny and ran off. I do fix them all if they're my pets. I don't breed or anything like that. So, I think the most definite part of the rehab is the state wildlife officers working with me constantly.
That's
And
awesome.
if there was a law change or anything like that, they would be on our side because I help them constantly. I mean, I've done bald eagles, I've done poisonous snakes. I'm the only one that'll do poisonous snakes, or any snake for that matter. We've had pygmies, copperheads, timber rattlesnakes, all kinds of snakes. Now I won't touch a spider,
Oh, come on now. Those are the best.
but I will snatch a poisonous snake with my bare hands, but I won't touch a spider.
All right, everybody's got their line. I hate jelly. You know.
So
I'm running for sheriff of my county.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I own Game Seekers Outdoors. We take wounded warriors, handicapped kids, and kids without dads hunting and fishing.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing that 12 years now.
That's awesome.
we want to commend you for that. That's an amazing feat for somebody to do.
And then Morph Seekers. My wife's like, I don't know how you have all that energy. I just do. Both fire departments. I work 2 different fire departments. I resigned from one after my COVID vaccine. I had some bad side effects, and I wasn't able to keep up. I couldn't catch my breath. I mean, I couldn't do anything.
Oh, wow.
So I'm probably going to stay resigned from that one until a few people leave. Different reasons. We'll leave that one to that. And then I was the undercover deputy here for about 2 years. And now I want to be their boss.
So you just don't believe in sleeping at all, huh? You just want to sleep all the time.
Well, my PTSD keeps me wide awake most of the time.
Mm.
So it's good to have that many snakes because, man, if
Doesn't
one's
give you a
get
lot
tired
of,
of me holding her, I'll go to the other one.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, but John Feely and his wife are both veterans as well. So
Awesome. Thank you for your
they're-
service.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Awesome.
And they are amazing, amazing people, raising 3 little tiny people, which alone is amazing.
I have 2. My boy's 10, my daughter's 12. They're not mine. My daughter's not mine or my wife's. She was left with us.
Oh, wow.
We've had her since she was 6 months old. And I've had my son since he was a month old. So they're mine.
Yes. What are their names?
Caleb and Chelsea.
So what do they think about, living in a zoo, the way our kids were raised?
That's like the best time of their day. She names
That's
every
awesome.
rat, even though I feed it off.
Oh,
That's tough.
So I am very curious. You said you've rehabbed several bald eagles,
Yes.
and we just came from a guy. He has one hell of a colubrid collection, Stu Tennyson, and he has a hyacinth macaw that he ended up rehabbing because he bit the fingers off of the end of the lady that owned him, or her. I don't know if it's female. And so I know that eagles and hawks are like 10 times the bird that a typical parrot is. So what do you have to do when you're rehabbing them to keep your fingers and your eyes and your skin?
And their housing as well.
Yeah.
If you throw the meat at them, they'll catch it.
Okay.
there you go.
I'm serious. They will reach up with one hand if they have to and grab it, but most of the time they can catch it with their mouth. But I use tongs feeding them. You can keep them calm by using the hood that they use for the falconry. That works really good. Most of the birds that I do is overflow from the actual bird rehabber down the road. And one year she got stuck with like 12 of those bald eagles. So some floated this way, but it was fun to release them.
It's amazing. And that's very commendable for you doing that. That's a national bird and it's a national treasure.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful animals.
Well, I've even done hummingbirds.
Oh.
How does one rehab a hummingbird?
Very carefully.
In a little baby cradle?
And I saw it at 65 miles an hour in the middle of the road, and I stopped traffic with my lights.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
You're a hero. I think 100 women just got crushes on you right now. Everyone that's watching, anyway. The dudes too.
Can y'all tell how many people are on?
Barely anyone, but that's okay. They'll fall in love with you as soon as they hear this.
We've got about 10, 11 people watching. It's going back and forth. Generally, by the end of a couple days, there'll be 400 or 500 people that'll check it out. That's what we average. So
I was a little nervous. It's first interview.
Well, you're doing amazing.
Well, it sounds like by the end of this year, everybody's going to know who you are. I mean,
yeah.
Working with the stuff that you're working with and talking about some of your surprise projects, you've got a name for yourself. And the fact that you have done so much support for everybody around you is absolutely commendable. So don't worry.
We're donating male and female 100% het sunset morph of your choice of our 15 clutches for the Reptile Relief Fund 101 for Texas. I think they're already at $22,000 or something like that.
Wow.
And then Mystic Morph Mutations, I think, is what they're called. He's donating one of his double het BPI Exanthic Clown from an OD Spinner Blast, and then we're going to match it with a female double het VPI Exanthic Clown.
Wow.
We got 9 clutches of those this year.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I'll have to say, your company name suits you better than pretty much anybody else.
I think so. Now I'm really good at figuring out the morphs, what the breed, what's going to be the best. And like I said, when we got Morpheus, he has 5 genes. He's pastel leopard, yellow belly, orange dream, lemonback, het pied, het ghost, het clown. I couldn't think of a name. Cindy popped it off in like 2 minutes. Morpheus, and it suits him. And his babies are going to be worse. But he's only 400 grams, so I didn't want to overdo him. He only has 1 girlfriend this year.
That's smart.
Well, so you're working with the sunset. Of course, I'm really fascinated with the sunset.
Yeah,
gene,
he's kind of stuck on it.
Yeah, but so most people say that the snakes tend to brown out as they get bigger. Do you have some goals with your animals as far as you're gonna try to keep that color, that nice orange glow? Do you have some
most definitely. Now, I did see the video that Austin from Your Royal Highness posted about Billy's sunset being brown. My pastel sunset, she's bright. She's almost 2,000 grams. Then my NG male, he's 1,400 grams, and he's still bright orange. So I'm not sure what's in Billy's. If it's cinnamon, that could be an issue. If you add yellow belly like we're doing this year, that's going to be very bright. After that, it's going to be asphalt. We're going to try for the Sunset Freeway. No, the Leopard Sunset Freeway.
Nice.
Well, could I request that you do a video showing your animals? Because I have not seen those animals yet.
Most definitely.
He's getting thirsty over here.
Yeah. Yes.
And that company was Mystic Dream Morphs.
Oh, wow.
The one that we're adding the female to.
That's so cool.
But yes, man, you can message me anytime. We'll do a video. I'll show you some stuff. You just gotta keep quiet. Well, when we bought this house, it was only 3 bedroom, 2 bath. And you can't list a bedroom unless it has a window. So when we came downstairs, it ended up being 9 bedroom, 4 bath, and a movie theater. And then the concrete room underneath the garage is my snake room.
Oh, wow.
So how big is your snake room, dimension-wise?
Probably 15 by 20.
Oh, wow. And do you have it filled up yet? And if not, do you plan on filling it up? What's your ultimate number of snakes you think that you're shooting for to keep for yourself?
Probably, well, that's a hard one. I'd rotate the males, but I'd probably keep 100 females.
That's a good number.
But I wouldn't breed 100 females a year. I think that would fill up the hobby too fast. And out of the 15 clutches this year, we're probably going to hold most of those. We will let go of some, but I don't want to flood the market with sunsets.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good choice.
I want to build and build and build and build and build on top of gene.
So what's the morph that has kind of stayed out of your fingertips, or do you have everything that you want?
I want a male and female super pastel puzzles. And every time I find somebody with them, they end up gone before I get there.
So are you working the puzzle gene at all?
Not right now. I had two, but my buddy from Camo Constrictor is more about those two genes. So we rotated some snakes this way that we wanted, and rotated the leopard yellow belly. Sorry, the leopard 100% puzzle, and then the spider yellow belly 100% puzzle to him. Male and female breeding pair.
We've had a request to ask you about Thor.
Thor is our VPI exanthic clown. He's put in some hard work this year for sure. He has 9 clutches this season, and he's lost a little bit of weight, but not much. But the sunset hasn't dropped a gram. He'll eat 3 rats a week and still keep breeding every female.
Wow.
And he's an NG sunset. And I do have.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I do have the 100% het female that my wife got me for my anniversary when we first started. And we're doing a Who's Your Daddy's clutch. We put the bamboo to her, we put the leopard to her, and we put the visuals to her. Make it interesting. She just got done ovulating, actually.
With the males that you chose and the genes that the mothers have, or I guess you only did one Who's Your Daddy, is it going to be real easy to decipher who the dad is?
Oh, most definitely, but we're probably going to keep that entire clutch.
That's awesome.
We need a bamboo female.
I always like to know about the woman behind the magic, so tell us about your wife.
My wife works for the government. Her company builds the guided missile systems for the U.S. military.
Wow.
She's doing her bachelor's degree right now. I'm doing my associates in criminal justice for when I run. And she has thick skin, I promise. The animals that I bring home, she knows she's going to say yes, but it's going to be there anyway. Or she's going to say no, and the animal's just going to show up. That's how it goes.
Neither of us have ever done that before to each other.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
That's right.
It's not to say we don't punish each other for years over it, but it all comes out in the wash, right?
But we've been together, I think, now 17 years, married 6.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
And on the beginning of the 17 years, it was off and on, but I wasn't ready yet.
So tell me why you picked Arkansas. That just seems like a strange place to end up with coming from Texas.
I kid you not. We went, and it was Holiday Island, Arkansas.
So that's a place I know nothing about. It sounds festive. Is it scary backwoodsy or?
It's
do they
very,
have eyes?
most definitely. And I come from a city to here, and they're like, "How do you know all this stuff?" Because we're 10 years ahead of you, buddy.
I come from civilization. Wow, okay. So that's
Took them
fairly
6 months to run the Wi-Fi cable to my house.
Oh wow.
We're still fighting that. They actually have to radio it in to us from the local water tower, and sometimes the clouds are just thick enough to where
Yeah.
we don't get internet signal.
Yeah.
Now I do live on an 18-hole golf course and a 9-hole golf course because this is a community basically for retired older people. Job security.
So are you popular in your neighborhood, or are you the big bad villain?
I'm very popular, but I'm the villain to the sheriff's office now.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And
So
my
who
brother
wins?
works for them.
No.
Ooh, wow.
We did um a campaign in Roswell, where I'm from, about 2 years ago. My mom and her two best friends are the sheriff, the chief, and then my mom's the sheriff administrator. So I got to see firsthand on how the current administration in that sheriff's office treat the new and upcoming ones running against them. And of course, my mom and her two best friends, Mike and Charles, won by a landslide, hit records. We raised about $50,000 in that campaign, and which is pretty record setting for New Mexico in a county. And so, yeah, it was pretty interesting how we went from being pretty popular to being the villain with the current administration.
The former sheriff, not the one now, but the former sheriff, I was in the right place, just the wrong time. I didn't expect that to happen. And the sheriff now is just a moron. He looks like a midget Monopoly looking dude, I promise. And I tell him that constantly because I really don't like him, but I am the county judge's armed guard, and he calls me his son. So good luck with that. I have 4 judges backing me for running, and they asked me, or they tried to mail me the papers the other day that write down all the donations you get. I said, I ain't getting no donations. That's too much paperwork. So I'm going to run myself without. I still have to send a list to the state showing I didn't receive any, but I'm not going to take donations and stuff like that. That's way too much. I'm pretty popular already.
It is. For those at home who don't know, that is a ton of work. My mother, in the campaign, was the treasurer for the campaign, and any type of advertisement that you do, a lot of things have to be labeled, paid for by the committee to elect Sheriff Mike Harrington. The state requires constant reporting of any donations. You can only have up to 3 or 4 anonymous donations, not to exceed the amount of $2,000 per donation, and an individual person couldn't donate more than 3,500. So sometimes these big farmers and these big companies would give out a $3,500 donation, but as a single person, and then the wife would donate 3,500, and their kids who were 15 to 18 years old would be donating,
And that's the
enough.
people that saying, I want to pass later,
Yeah,
which is
pretty much.
okay. You can bend it, you can't break it.
Yeah. I think just the sheer frustration of the previous administration is what got a lot of people to donate, because they were really tired of the previous administration just not really doing anything. So
Oh yeah, I'm going to clean house. I'm going to bring officers from
yeah,
Texas to here.
there you go. Bringing some.
Their integrity level here is terrible. You have no clue. I wouldn't get into all that here, but stay tuned. It's coming. Can't give
How
them all
soon is
my
the
info.
There you go.
Huh?
How soon is the election?
I do the runoff in December against all the Republicans because mostly Republicans, only one will get on the Democratic Party, So he doesn't have anybody running against him. So he doesn't have to go through the runoff and all the other stuff. But he's Republican. He's done it twice now, but he's lost twice now. He's about to lose 3 times.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was kind of the similar situation. Like the sheriff ran against a sitting Republican, and in Chaves County, usually there is no Democratic bid for sheriff, so it was 2 Republicans running against each other, which really separated the Republican Party itself. And the big election was the primary because in New Mexico, at least, if someone's going to run on the Democratic ticket, they have a certain date where they have to inform that. And if they don't, then they're not eligible to run. So at the time, it was only the 2 Republican candidates who were running. So the election actually happened in July or June.
Okay.
And then they were vote. He basically ran unopposed come the November election where everything was finalized.
Well, I think I'll win by a landslide.
Confidence, it goes a long way.
Oh, most definitely. And I think that people see that what's going on, and they see that this is a civilian now, but he's threatening that entire building every day.
Yeah.
They just know I'm not afraid to stand my ground when I know I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I want to change the world, but we're going to start with Carroll County.
There you
go.
So back to snakes.
Yes.
We know that you're working with what is some of the other genes that you're working with that you're really focused on? You got the Panda, you got the sunset, you got some of the other secret, maybe not monsoon kind of stuff. What else do you like working with? Are you a big recessive or down fan, or do you like mixing it up? What is it that you like?
I do mix it up, like Mick, the citrus, the super citrus. Everything I put to him is going to be world's first. We're going to have issues identifying it at first. Might have to wait a couple sheds because Mick only gets brighter the bigger he gets. He has not lost color. Now, right before he sheds, he'll get like a weird looking brown. But when he comes off, he's the brightest yellow you'll ever see. Wow. So I'm trying to, okay, I'll spill this bean, okay?
Spill it.
Next season, Mick is going to the pastel sunset. When we breed him back, we're going to call it the tequila sunrise, but spell it with a K and not a Q.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Wow. So you said that you're working with a little bit of Ghost, or no, VPI. Are you working with Ghost at all? What's your feelings on Ghost? Because Chris Eaton just chews that shit up, and we're huge Ghost fans. I mean, we've got it mixed into a lot of stuff.
Okay, well, Ghost is going to blow up again very soon. I don't know who the dude is that knocked the Ghost. Never heard of him, but he's wrong.
He's Snakes and the Fat Man. If you never heard his podcast, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he'll talk some shit to anybody, but he's our friend. He owns Eyeball Pythons too with a partner. And
what's his podcast?
Snakes and the Fat Man, and he's a big shit talker, but he's got
I've seen some of his stuff. I know who he is, but I didn't hear that one about the Ghost. Okay, so I'm implementing Ghost into a lot of stuff right now. Now if I want to make a clutch of eggs, I'm going to call Cindy. I'm going to pull my wife to the side, and then I'm going to explain to them everything I want to do. And they're like, okay. Like, I'm into I want to make everything that hasn't been made. And they just like, oh, we know what you're doing, so we're just going to agree with you. Yeah. So, haven't been wrong yet.
Awesome. I wanted to say hello to Moon Over Miami. They always show up to our podcast, and they're always commenting on our videos. Thank you so much for your support, and it's nice to see you here, and thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Okay, Moon Over Miami. What worms? 101 or what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, I think you were talking about how you want to keep some of your genetics under wraps. Yeah, she said open the can of worms.
Oh, okay.
I think there was actually was during the sheriff stuff that she said.
Oh,
It was
I wanted
during
to
the
make
talk
stuff.
about the sheriffs.
There you go.
But so you're working really hard with the BPI Exantic. How did you end up picking that Exantic over the other however many there are out there?
I love the silver and black look, and we're going to make 2 visual panda pied clutches next season. The third one will go to the BPI Xanthic Clown.
So do you think
Black, white, and gray work the best.
Well, do you think VPI Exantic is more contrasting than the TSK Exantic? Because
I think
the reason
so.
I'm saying that we've got a friend that thinks that VPI is just it's not even Exantic. I mean, he doesn't say that, but he likes the TSK Exantic 10 times over the VPI. So I'm just
Well,
asking.
everybody loves black and white, especially on a snake. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yes, the community has made the Stormtrooper, but nobody's been able to make it again that I know of. Now, if we could duplicate that, I could do a lot of stuff with that. So instead of that, I am going to find some of the best and then add some of the best that's there now. And my goal is a VPI Exantic Batman.
Wow.
So you've
After
got
that, it's going to be a Batman Sunset.
quite a few long-term goals. You've been in this for 3 years. When you first started buying snakes, how far down that path are you with what you have right now than you were 3 years ago?
Well, I wanted to stay small. Like I said, I watch everything what Cindy does on her Facebook. She knows, I know when something's wrong with her. So I was like, hey, Cindy, how about we come together as one? Let's pick both of us up at the same time. And when she came into the picture, it was, I like that one. I was like, me too. She picks some of the best looking snakes. Like she picked Thor. I showed it to her I wanted to show her what we were trying to make. Well, here's a visual. And then we were talking about long term, and the Sunset Project has only scratched the surface because Brian Barchek lost all his animals. So he had to wait for 2 years for his other animals that he already sold to grow and start producing. And then more sunsets started coming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sunset, like I said, it's barely scratched the surface. I don't know what is the most genes in the sunset right now, but I think we're going to have the most in this year.
So let me ask you a question. You're obviously striving for world's first, and you're obviously very interested in impressive multi genes. But do you also have the goal of like beautiful, really striking snakes? Some people, their goal is more visually oriented, and some people are like, I know a lot of people want that world's first, the snake they can name, to kind of build a reputation for themselves. And other people are more interested just in, I want something really beautiful or I want something highly contrasting. What drives you as far as your choices?
Well, I do go for bright. I love the bright. So I'm going to add yellow belly. I'm going to add Gene X. I'm going to add OD. Anything to brighten that animal up so it doesn't brown out. I don't know why that comment ever came up because my sunsets are bright. I mean, and they're only going to get brighter. Like I said, Justin Gabelka this year hatched the double het pied clown, triple het, double het pied clown sunset. This year I will have NG het, pied, het sunset, 100%. I want my snakes to produce the first visual pied, even though Justin's 6 months ahead of me.
Hmm.
I have snakes that breed at 1 year old, over 1,500 grams.
Females?
I'm not sure what everybody's else's, how they feed their animals. I feed every 7 days. I'll feed one rat. 7 days later, I'll feed an ASF. 7 days later, a rat. 7 days later, an ASF. And I have 5 1-year-old girls this year, including the Panda pied, that are breeding, and 3 are about to lay. One is a pastel sunset. So I'm not sure.
Quality of food. Do you breed your own rodents, or where do you get your rodents from?
Yes, I breed them.
What do you feed your rodents?
Dog food.
Do you ever see preference on your snakes from eating between regular rats and ASFs?
A preference?
Yes.
Well, I want them to be.
Does some of your snakes, prefer to wait or like skip a meal because they know that they'll hold out for an ASF?
No, when they're babies, if I'm going to sell them, they won't touch ASF. They won't even smell them.
Okay.
This is something that I've been reading for a very long time. I read 6 months before I even bought my first snake. I wanted to know everything. I had the incubator going. I had the rat going. I had made sure my humidity was great before I even bought my first snake. A lot of people will buy, and then start asking millions of questions, which I don't mind helping. I think I've answered 1,000 questions today. What I come to the conclusion with is like bodybuilders, they need fat and they need protein to bulk up.
Right.
ASF full of protein, a fat rat full of fat. My snakes get big. My snakes are very healthy. And my rats, I probably clean every 3 days. A healthy rat is a healthy snake. I change my snake's water every single day, every morning at 4 a.m. Dump a little in the back, let it humidify just for the day. If that bedding gets wet from the front, shutting and opening the bedding, rotate the bedding to the back, pull the dry up front. It'll last a lot longer, and I spot clean every single day.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So happy snake is a healthy snake. Healthy snake is a breeding snake.
What kind of substrate do you use?
I use coconut husk.
Do you endorse a specific company of racks? Is there like one rack that you love?
Well, we have 2 ARS. The 7030, I ordered gray tubs. I got clear tubs. So I do not recommend ARS. I ordered the 5540 with clear tubs to match the other ones. They sent me gray tubs, and they will not fix the situation.
Really? Interesting.
And I like everything nice and neat. But I have a total of 14 racks right now.
Wow.
But I need the 1065 because I didn't expect we were going to have this many clutches this season, but I expected wrong.
That's amazing. So, what is your typical cycle in Arkansas? Are you going to be trying to produce all year long? Do you have a season?
I have a season. You can breed a snake all year long. I mean, but then it's totally up to the snake, period. But there is a Pacific season, and I don't know why people say there's not, but there is. Late September, early October, start breeding your males and females, start locking them. Now I'm going to have like 22 of them all in the same 2 weeks in March. So hopefully the rest of them I can peer out just a little bit I'd say your best time to breed is end of September till February 1st. Now, if you're late all the way in February 1st, you're going to have clutches all the way out till November, December. But if you look at the wild ball python, they hunt them down and pull their gravid females out of the wild to get their eggs in the rainy season, which is our winter.
Well, people are trying to manipulate that on purpose because, like you're saying, gutting the market. So the driest season to buy a ball python in the United States is going to be the breeding season, September to December. So people like Billy, who he produces all year long, there are a lot of people that are doing that kind of cycling. That's why I was asking if you were trying to do the same thing so that you're not glutting in a particular area, or if you just had it. And again, the weather. It's California. The weather's going to stay pretty steady. Here in Texas, it gets down to 17 degrees, and then it's 80 degrees the next day.
Or
Yeah, I know that all too well. But okay. So, like I was saying, the beginning of or late September, end of September, early October to February 1st, depending on where those females are hit in that time, because people claim they breed all year. I say the same, but I still think it's false because anywhere you breed within those 10 or 15 days, you're still waiting 70, 80 days for them eggs to come, period. So they think they're breeding all year long, but they're not. They got hit late February 1st. They got hit, so they didn't lay their eggs until January 2022.
That's kind of how it works for me, though. Like, my girls don't even start follicular growth until about December. Like, they show no signs. They have no interest in males until December. I'll have probably 1 or 2 good locks by February, and then usually the last lock is March, April timeframe, and I'll get them like early December or January. So, but it's also, I'm in the desert on the far side of Texas, and it doesn't cool down until February.
Yeah, and there's some females, like, you cannot see follicle growth again until at least 20 to 25 mils, period. I say 20 because that's where I normally see them. Now, again, it's all up to the female. I had a female, Ingy, 100% proven genetic stripe, where she ate every single day or every single week, and then ate one day and laid her eggs the next. And I was like, wow, hello. I've been waiting and waiting for you to finish your build. And she laid her eggs the day after she ate that rat. Like, she was a freak of nature because she ovulated and she laid her eggs 8 days or 9 days later.
Wow.
Swole up, big eggs. But this year we did get the ultrasound. I've been feeling with my hands this whole time just by watching one of Justin Kabelka's videos. Very helpful. And I can feel follicles probably as soon as 15 millimeters. Anywhere under that, it's a little bit difficult. I mean, you're really going to have to squeeze on her, and then I don't know how well that would work. So now, if they reach 45 millimeters, you're almost guaranteed the ovulation. After 25 millimeters, they're going to come off food, and that's a guaranteed egg after 25 millimeters. They're not going to, they can't reabsorb after 25 millimeters. Every female I have right now is over 25. Now, where they land those eggs, that's on them again. So hopefully I can get 20 clutches out and put the other 20 back in at 2 different times.
Wow. You've come so far in 3 years. It's really blowing my mind. What would you say to somebody who's watching and maybe they have a bull snake and a gecko and they're thinking about getting in the ball python market, but they're on the fence? What would you say to them?
Save your money until you can afford something worth breeding. If you put single genes together because you're excited, you're going to have those single genes for a long time.
Yeah.
You want to make money and progress like any business.
Mhm.
So that would be my best advice. Save money until you can get something that you can stack on top of.
That's pretty cool.
JD,
That's
I'm
pretty
just
good
kidding.
advice too. So you're working. You're working. Is there any fringe genes that you're working with that aren't real common in the? Well, you're working with extremely rare, but just talking about like we just ended up with sulfur. Didn't know anything about it, and now that I've seen pictures of the super sulfur, I'm really in love with that gene. Even though it's not an expensive gene, it's something that I really like. Do you have anything like that? That's kind of a pet project.
That's the 9 in the other room.
Nice.
Now, like the comment that Cindy just made, so people contact me constantly if they can't get a snake to eat. I am very, very good at getting any snake to eat, but one out of hundreds and hundreds of snakes, I've had one that I can't get to wait in no time. And she's my snake. Her name's Athena. Now I did get her to eat yesterday, which is kind of odd. But so I'm going to try again tomorrow just to see if I can put a little weight on her. But my buddy Tony brought me a 1,100 gram fire. I want to say it was like a week ago. She was 1,100 grams. Today she's 1,802 and cold seeking.
Wow.
But she would not eat for him. Period. There was two of them, and then the cinnamon pinstripe would not eat for them. Well, she's pretty thick today, and they're growing follicles as we speak.
Wow.
Nice.
So, do you know why? Is there something that you do specifically?
I make them healthy and comfortable. Where they came from, not Tony, the other one.
Mhm.
They came with mites. They came with
Mm.
Mm.
problems. I have a special rack that I use for different temperatures of the year. I always keep the room at 65 degrees, period. But I do adjust rack temps on trying to swap for feeding. Like if a female's not going to eat, I'm going to drop her tub temp by a ton to where she's going to want to. Her body's going to want to burn energy, so her body's going to fight to. I need food. The only one I've never been able to do is Athena. I don't know. So I tossed in a small rat and she ate it yesterday. I bought that $80 bottle of stuff that Billy said on a video once. It doesn't work. Well, not with her. So, yes, I think I have 36 snakes here that I'm getting fatter for people.
Wow,
Oh wow.
that's awesome.
And then a
So,
guy messaged me yesterday saying that he couldn't get a snake to eat. It was just hatched recently, and he wants to meet me at the Springfield show and give it to me. It's a pastel Mojave banana.
It's a nice animal.
But just so everybody knows, on the Sunset Project, we are going to by next year try to get 6 genes into one snake.
How many of those are recessive?
All of them.
Wow. Damn.
We've been toying around a lot, and I'm pretty creative. If you watch, depending on the breeder, some that have bright snakes, Kabelka, he goes for really bright. Miguel does a lot of the same stuff as Kabelka does. That's where we got the leopard yellow belly 100% sunset from. And after he shipped the snake, he was like, "What are you breeding it to? Is it a baby? And you got to wait for it to get bigger?" I was like, "Nope, it's an adult pastel sunset." And he was like, "If I would have known that, I wouldn't have sent you that snake." So yeah, he might have let that one accidentally slide by.
Love you, Miguel.
Yeah. But if they want one and are willing to get rid of it, we'd probably help them out, because they do so much for our community. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they're good people.
So 3 years, you're in this hobby. You're a rehabber. You're a firefighter.
Running for sheriff.
Running for sheriff. What do you do in your spare time?
What spare time?
Other than rescue children.
We'll keep the channel clean.
So we talked a little bit before we started. You do love to fish. So tell me what kinds of fish you can find in your area.
Well, me and my brother and our captain at one of our fire departments were fishing guides in the area. We catch walleye, trout, brown trout, brook trout, cutthroat, you name it, we catch it. There's a lot of bass tournaments on Table Rock Lake that I enter every year and never seem to win. I can catch any species in the White River, but when it comes to the Table Rock Lake, I'm not very good at it.
I'm surprised. I didn't think that there'd be much trout fishing in Arkansas. There's not a ton of trout fishing here in Texas.
We're one of the best guided trout fishing in the United States.
I'd have to argue with you a little bit there. I'm from Montana.
Montana has some beautiful, beautiful scenery, most definitely. But I can catch 50 trout a day.
Say that again.
I can catch 50 trout a day.
It's pretty good.
So what's it going to take to get you down here to visit us in Texas, either at the NARBC or just here at our place?
Oh, well, I will be coming to the Arlington show. Yeah. I think everybody in the country is going to come to that one.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what shows do you typically hit, being where you are?
Normally, most of my stuff sells on Instagram, on Morph Market, and I went to a show once, but it was during right in the beginning of COVID, so it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Now we are prepared for show. We have cases that have heat, lights, everything, showcases. No matter what, we're capable of getting there. But I have a 19-person waiting list as of today for my sunsets.
Wow.
And they know how much they're going to be.
Awesome.
But we're giving away a sunset at 1,500 subscribers, just so everybody knows.
Hey, subscribe, everybody.
And we just gave away one of the world's first eggs from the super pastel ghost female to Mick.
Yes. Cindy was saying that. So how did that giveaway go? They got to pick the first egg, or they got to pick the egg in the clutch?
Well, right now they picked the female, and as soon as she lays the eggs, I always do my live videos when the females lay eggs anyway. So as soon as she lays her eggs, I will do a live video with her. She picks the egg, I sign it with her initials. And this is the third giveaway this month. We're pretty charitable.
You and Honey Reptiles are one of the most charitable channels that we know of. Man, Honey gives away gold all the time, just because. I love Hector.
A lot of people say we're crazy giving away a sunset.
Hey, well, I'll be in that competition praying.
I can't remember. Oh, it's Dina Carter that won one of the world's first babies, the egg. Now, whatever comes out of that egg, whether it be female, every gene she gets it.
Wow.
That's the one I would have picked too. Yes, the black pastel and the super citrus boy; those are going to be some incredible babies. Don't get me wrong, and like 3 different heads, but the visual ghost is going to be better. So I'll prove him wrong after that clutch, buddy, on the ghost.
All right, we'll be waiting.
And so you say that you're on Snapchat. We know that you're on YouTube.
Did he say Snapchat? He
Did
said
you say
Instagram.
Instagram. Sorry. I'm not a social media guy.
Your age is showing.
Yes. So tell people how they can get a hold of you if they're looking to find more about you or to purchase some animals from you.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Morph Market, everything is Morph Seekers.
Okay, awesome. We'll link all that in the description box below. Well, I want to thank you so much for giving up so much of your time. We had a little test run at 1 o'clock, which ended up just being a chat session all the way to
It's okay. It was nice meeting everybody.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you're amazing. This is long overdue. I can't believe we didn't hook up sooner, but yeah.
I'm like your husband. I'm not technical savvy.
Hey, it was pretty easy though, right?
Very easy.
Yes.
Very, very easy.
There's only been 2 people we've not been able to get through all of our rig that we use through StreamYard. Tom Crutchfield was one, and that is because he is literally out in the middle of nowhere in Florida and does not have signal. And the other one was like a super old herper who doesn't know where the play button is.
Yeah.
He needs help. So we're going to just go to his place eventually. John Hollister. He's a super, super cool guy. And I want to meet him.
Yeah, I do too. But thank you so much for coming on with us.
And for everything you do. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like a real life hero.
I know for a fact that I'm going to have a steak dinner tonight because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again.
Yeah, so we don't want to keep you on here all night, but it was a pleasure meeting you.
And
I enjoyed it very much.
Yes.
Awesome. It was a pleasure talking to you. Gotta love carpet pythons. Thank you for coming on. Still, we need to schedule your interview. So we got to take care of that.
And Cindy, you and me, girl. We're gonna be best
I will holler at Lord of Lion for y'all.
Yeah, tell him we're cool.
So everybody, take care. Thank you for joining us. It was a real pleasure meeting you. Hang on for just a second after we get off. I want to talk to you just a little bit. And everybody, have a great afternoon. We're still alive here in Texas. Thank the Lord.
I love you, Ramiro. And thank you, everyone, for the super chats. That was awesome.
Yes.
Prayers from Morph Seekers.
Yes. Hope everyone's doing okay out there.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.